We may have short-term some little pain, and people understand that, but long-term, the United States has been ripped off by virtually every country in the world. We have deficits with almost every country, not every country, but almost. And we're going to change it. It's been unfair. That's why we owe $36 trillion. We have deficits with everybody. We help everybody. We've been helping everybody for years. And to be honest, I don't think they appreciate it. So we're going to change that. We may have short-term some little pain, and people understand that.
Your eyes are not deceiving you. A gas station in LA was spotted charging more than $8 a gallon for gasoline. Now, gas prices aren't nearly that high in most of the United States. The average price for a gallon of regular gas in the US is $3.48 as of Monday morning, but that's up 50 cents or 17% since the start of the war.
I'm not even filling up right now. I'm just barely, trying to get by with, putting 20 in. But that's not going to last all week.
Oil prices crossed over $100 a barrel for the first time since Russia's invasion of Ukraine 4 years ago. The price of oil could keep rising and go even higher if travel through the Strait of Hormuz doesn't resume soon. Iran has threatened to attack vessels that go through the strait. That's the narrow waterway where roughly 20% of the world's oil travels. And analysts say this is by far the biggest disruption to oil production on record.
Gas so high, boy. I fill my car up and I see how much it costs. I said, damn, did I use diesel? That's a regular guy. I use diesel. Cub. Gas so high, now you gotta sit here and deliberate and contemplate. Am I gonna pay rent this month, or I'm gonna get gas? I'm gonna get grocery, or I'm gonna get gas? Cause the way the economy set up, I can't do both at the same time. One gonna have to wait till I get paid. Cause these prices are disrespectful, cuz. Like, gas costs about $1.4 trillion a gallon, dog. Like, I filled my gas tank up and I had plans today. I said, you know what, I ain't gotta go nowhere. Now it's a business decision to crank this little thing up. And it's a Honda Civic. And it seemed like the gas burned quicker nowadays than it did a few weeks ago. I don't know the science behind that, but I'm gonna look into that. Man, boy, I want to be grown. What the freak? No more.
All right, shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, I'm gonna title this video, Nobody Wants to Help America, so Americans will suffer. Okay, nobody wants to help America, so Americans will suffer. All right. And, this is all predicated off the conflict that the U.S. and Israel has with Iran. And, as biblical prophecy says, this is getting ready to spiral out of control. OK, a bunch of other nations, OK, and global powers are going to get involved in this. OK, the draft that keeps coming up. The military draft in America, that keeps on coming up. All right. Which is something that, the powers they use a strategy called predictive programming, right? To where, they'll tell you something, you'll give you little hints of a future event that's getting ready to take place, right? But they won't actually say, oh, this official, it's a possibility, right? This is a possibility, but really it's official. They've already made their mind up and they're just conditioning people to accept it. So that's what's going on with the draft. That's why you keep seeing it now. You're starting to see it more and more on the internet. You're starting to see it more and more on the news stations. All of this is by design. Okay. Talks of the economy crashing. This is all by design because, Esau is pretty much getting people ready to suffer tragedy. All right. And, you got Donald Trump right now. Okay. The U.S. government is, pretty much asking all of its allies to help America, okay, with this conflict in Iran. America is asking all its allies to help them get back in the Strait of Hormuz, okay? And this is what these other nations are replying to America, man. Okay, which shows you that America is just about wrapped up, man. So it says Trump asks the world to send warships. Here's what every country said. France officially rejected, will not send warships. Oh, well, first, let me read this real quick, okay, before I get to that. It says, breaking, Trump has warned that NATO faces a very bad future if allies do not help the U.S. in Iran. Okay, so now you got America sending threats to NATO. And you know what? America has been sending threats to NATO for quite some time now. Okay? Quite some time, So now when America's back is against the wall, right? Now America is reaching out to everybody, okay? And everybody's like, fuck you, okay? Especially with what Donald Trump just did out there in Iran, that put a lot of other nations and a lot of other regions in a conflicting situation, okay? A lot of these other nations, they don't really want a full-scale war to break out, right? But America's reckless behavior is causing unnecessary conflicts, okay? But this is biblical prophecy. It's got to go this way, all right? Israel is involved. Israel is the puppet master behind America. That's why it says the least of the flock shall draw them out, okay? And everybody's getting ready to get involved in this, okay? Everybody's getting ready to get involved in this, guaranteed. All right, so now let me read this. It says, Trump asks the world to send warships. Here's what every country said. France officially rejected, will not send warships. So France said, fuck America. China, no response, called it a sovereign right. Okay, you already know China wasn't going to get down with it. United Kingdom, discussing options with allies, no commitment. Japan, silence. 70% of Japan's Middle East oil comes through Hormuz. So yeah, Japan, is trying to stay neutral. You know what I mean? They're not trying to assist the U.S. ultimately, assist Israel, because that's really, like I said, that's who's calling the shots, right? Japan is not trying to assist, Babylon and the small hats, okay, with the conflict of Iran, because that fucks up their money, right? So America has really, fucked itself over, man, okay, with these recent events. It says Qatar already stopped gas production, declared force majeure. Their energy minister said this will bring down economies of the world, okay? So this whole conflict that's going on, okay, it's an inconvenience for everybody. All right. And America is in debt, man. A lot of people forget that. Okay. America is in a lot of debt, man. All right. The video you just watched, Donald Trump said trillions of dollars in debt. So imagine a nigga that owe you money. Imagine a nigga that owe you, let's just say, $100,000, right? And then, he never pay it back. He don't have no plans on paying it back. But then when his back is against the wall, now he's blowing up your cell phone. Hey, man, I need you to help me, man. I need you to help me. Eventually it gets to the point to where it's like, nah, nigga, your favors with me is done. Where my money at? You see? So that's how these other countries feel about America. America owes, a lot of these countries money. You know what I'm saying? America has fucked over a lot of these countries. America is a shady business partner. Okay? America is not somebody that you want to go into business with. All right? A janky promoter. Like that movie, Ice Cube, and Mike Epps. It's a movie called Janky Promoters. A funny movie, okay? But in the movie, Ice Cube and Mike Epps, they play they're pretty much promoting events for some some rappers or something like that, and they just some shady business partners, just some niggas running off with the money, lying, you know what I'm saying, not being true to their word. That's what America is behind the scenes. America is not to be trusted. So now when America wants help, now when America is in a position of distress, everybody's like, nah, we ain't coming to help you. Okay? UAE, it says Gulf states tried to stop this war because they knew the implications. Iran still attacking ships, still laying mines, still blocking the strait. 10 countries, 0 warships, the most powerful military on earth asked for backup and got ghosted. Okay? And this is biblical prophecy, man. Okay, that America would get ghosted by everybody, man. All right, let me get a scripture real quick. Revelation 17 and 16. Okay, it says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast. Now the 10 horns represent, the Esau's power structure. Okay, NATO and the European Union. Okay, because these are the global powers that came together. Okay, and created, the sovereignty that America thrives off. Okay. So these horns, okay, are now coming together to do what? It says, these shall hate the whore. Who is the whore? Okay, when you read in the scriptures, the whore, okay, is Babylon the Great. Let me get that real quick. Mystery Babylon, okay? Mystery Babylon, all right? Let's see. Okay, it was in verse 5. Okay? So let's go Revelation. Okay. All right. What can we get? Okay, well let's read this. Revelation 17, we'll start at verse 4. It says, and a woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet colored and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. And that's America. All right. Okay, because prior to everything going on right now, America was known as like the highlight of life, the highlight of the earth. Everybody wanted to come to America, Hollywood, NBA, all of the glitz and the glamour of America. So, the gold and the precious stones and the pearls and the Israelites are in captivity here. Okay. On the surface, it's always looked like America had it popping, right? So it says, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. What is that golden cup? That golden cup has been used to deceive all of the nations. Okay. People have, you got other countries and nations that are turned out because of America, because America is giving these other nations the golden cup of degeneracy. This is why homosexuality has surged all over the world at this point. Different little demonic behaviors. All right. Primarily it's because of America. Okay. America got people drinking out of that golden cup, man. Okay. Verse 5, it says, and upon her head was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Okay, the mother of harlots. That's talking about America, man. All right. Why is it called the mother of harlots? Because, the characteristics of a whore, she lays down with whoever. Okay. So America, okay, has all sorts of, you could be whatever you want here. There's no standard in America, really. All you got to do is just don't break Esau's penal code system, and you could do some of the most outrageous shit. Okay, you could commit adultery at a high level. There's no penalty for that. You got people out here that are going through gender reassignment surgery. where you got men cutting off his fucking penis and turning it into some makeshift vagina, right? Putting a wig on and then telling everybody, oh, I'm a woman now, right? Just little freaky, weirdo shit like that, man. Okay, is what's going on out here. You see? So basically, what this is saying in a nutshell is that America is loose. You know, loose just like a whore. Okay, no moral compass. All right, no standard. Just, you know, you get to be out here just willy-nilly, right? That's why it's called the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth, man. All right, so when we go back to Revelation 17 and 16, it says, "In the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore." Okay, America is the whore. All right, and you're starting to see all of these nations show their, you know, dislike. What could I say? Unsatisfaction for America. That's why now, you know, Donald Trump is, you know, asking for his allies to come together. And everybody's like, nah, we ain't helping you. Okay, this is prophetic. These is going to start hating the whore. All right, everybody's going to start showing their hatred. All right, for America. All right, America's going to be left on its own. That's why, you know, these nations are going to shoot nuclear missiles out here over here and burn this place down. Okay, it says that right here. It says, "And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire." Okay, fire. What type of fire? Nuclear hellfire. Okay, America's allies is going to shoot nuclear missiles over here, man. Okay, so let's go back to a little bit of this. All right. Okay. So then you had Donald Trump right here. Okay. He talking about we may have short-term pain. Right. And he said this in I think the beginning of 2025, man, last year, you know, and I think I did a video on this, you know, when this little video came out, you know, because he said this in 2025, the beginning of 2025, soon as he got in office. So I did a video on it a minute ago, right? But this always stuck with me. You know what I mean? The fact that he said this, that America is gonna experience short-term pain. You know what I'm saying? Out of his own mouth. And now look where we're at a year later. Everything that's happened, right? ICE was going on a rampage all through 2025. Had you know, you Israelites scared to come outside, scared to go to work, right? That was 2025. It's looking like 2026 is going to be the year of war, okay? Because you notice how the ICE narrative, you know, that's kind of died down. Ain't nobody talking about ICE no more, which that's still going on. Niggas is still getting snatched up. You know what I'm saying? Probably even more now, right? Now that they've, you know, redirected the attention somewhere else. But the hyper focus ever since January 2026 has been war. You know what I mean? The economy failing. Okay. So then we got that. And then we got this situation right here. Right. This is a video right here. And hey, you know what? And this video is talking about downtown LA. Okay. This is true. All right. There's a gas station in downtown LA. All right. Around the corner from the Union Station, the Union train station. All right. If you are familiar with Los Angeles, you know about the Union Station, man. OK, that's where like a lot of the traffic of everybody in Los Angeles. That's where, you know, that's where they go, because that's where all the trains are. You know what I mean? That's the headquarters of the trains in Los Angeles. Right. And this gas station is around the corner from Los Angeles. And you know what? For years, this particular gas station has always been ahead of the curve as far as the high pricing of you know, gas, right? You know, in my personal opinion, because this is the only gas station in all of Los Angeles, right, that has this high of a price. It's only one gas station in Los Angeles with this high of a price. You know, so, you know, my theory is that Esau set up this gas station as a predictive programming, kind of showing people what gas is going to eventually, you know, the price of gas, you know, where it's going to eventually lead to, almost like a precursor image to see. Because for years, man, probably for like 5 years, you will have all of Los Angeles, the gas might be like $4.50 a gallon, $4 a gallon, but it was always this one gas station. While everything else was $4.50 a gallon, this one particular gas station, this should be like $7. You know, it'll be like $6 or something like that. Just an outrageous number, right? And it hasn't gotten to a point in Los Angeles to where gas is $8 a gallon everywhere, right? But it has increased. Okay, it's definitely increased. Okay, it's now that, and we'll get that, but the average is about $5.50, right? But this gas station is showing $8. Okay, and this is what it's coming to. Okay, this is what it's coming to. All right. So with everything going on, okay, you know, the common American is getting ready to suffer from all of the turmoil. Okay, all of the turmoil, the political turmoil, the common American is getting ready to suffer, man. Okay, you had Jake right here. That was you know, he was sitting here talking about the gas prices. He said these gas prices something serious, right? And he was talking about it. He was like, oh, you know, I don't know if you gotta, you know, I'm gonna have to pay rent, or I'm gonna have to get groceries or get gas. I don't know which one. You know, these gas prices are rising. And Jake's still trying to make a joke out of it. I look on the comments of this video on Instagram, you know, niggas is still laughing. It's not getting ready to be a joke pretty soon, man. See, that's the problem with our people. They always want to laugh something off. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to be funny, okay? When these gas prices rise so much to the point to where niggas is just going to leave their car in the driveway and they just going to start walking places. They going to get a bike. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're going to have to walk to work. 2-hour walk. He going to have to walk to work. Imagine that. You know what I'm saying? You know, people going to probably start walking on the freeway to get to work. Families walking. All right. It ain't going to be funny pretty soon, man. Okay. It's not going to be a joke. All right. And he's right. He's right. In the past couple weeks, gas has risen high as hell, man, out here in California. No doubt. All right. I've been paying attention. Okay. As I've been driving by gas stations. I remember right before all of this conflict, gas was out here was about, you know, the average was about $4. It jumped to $5.50. That's the average now. You see? And then Jake said, you know, it's feel like the gas is running out quicker. Yeah, because, you know, with you know, Esau pretty much has to replace a lot of the real gas with synthetic shit. Right? To give people the illusion that there's still gas at the goddamn stations, man. So who knows what he got you what he got you putting in your goddamn car, man. Right? It's a, you know, it's a lot of crazy shit going on behind the scenes, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things people don't even understand, but they're getting ready to get a clue, man. Okay? People are getting ready to get a real clue out here, man. Very soon, man. Okay, very, very soon, bro. All right. Let me see. Let's see some. Okay. Where's that at? Hang on, Akim. Damn. Oh yeah. You know what? It was right here. Yeah. Let me get this real quick. All right. Let me get this real quick. Okay. It said, I put on Google, I just put California gas prices. It says as of mid-March, just so you know I'm telling the truth. Okay, Google even backs it up. It says as of mid-March, California's average gas price has surged to approximately $5.50 per gallon for regular unleaded, driven higher by global events. Okay, specifically rising oil prices following conflict in the Middle East. This marks a significant increase from earlier in the month, with some Los Angeles locations exceeding $8 per gallon. It's getting ready to get bad out here, man. Okay, it's getting ready to get bad. People are getting ready to start fighting for resources. All right, because you already know the average American is a selfish asshole, right? You know these people don't give a fuck about nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when things start getting stripped away from them things that matter, okay, people are going to lose it, man. All right? They're getting ready to crash out big time, man. All right? And this is what Esau is counting on. He wants people to flip out, all right, because he's going to provide a solution. All right? Martial law, mark of the beast, okay? That's going to be the solution when people start tripping out because of these gas prices and other things getting higher, right? Other price food. Watch when that gets hot. Watch when the food gets high, right? People really going to be losing it. You know what I'm saying? A carton of eggs, $20. Man, what? You know what I'm saying? Niggas is going to be ready to fight the cashier, man. The cashier ain't got nothing to do with it. But niggas is going to be trying to knock out the cashier. That's how mad they gonna be. You see? So Americans are getting ready to suffer. Okay? Americans are getting ready to suffer, man. Let me get this real quick. This is Jeremiah 50 and 14. We'll start at verse 14. It says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, okay? So this is the Lord pretty much in the spirit commanding all of these other nations, even America's allies, to start turning their face toward America for evil intentions, okay? That's why the Lord said, bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, okay? And that's ultimately the nuclear missiles that is going to get shot off towards America, man, all right? Okay? This is all biblical prophecy. That nobody wants to help America, man. All right. Verse 15, it says, shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. You see, everything is falling apart in America, man. The mirth is gone. Okay. The people are bugged out. All right. You know, living in America, man, is whack as hell, bro. You know, you don't listen to the hype, you know, with all of these niggas trying to make it seem like, you know, the Miami nightlife, the Los Angeles nightlife, the fucking, you know, Salakia, you know, I'm in a situation right now, but, you know, just all Disneyland, you know what I'm saying? Water parks, Hollywood. Don't listen to that bullshit, man. All right. And you know, let America convince you that it's popping out here, man. America is wacky as hell, man. Okay, this shit is boring. Okay, everybody's a bug out, man. All right, you know me and a couple brothers, man. We go out a couple places. We like to see a couple things. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you can't really have a good time nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's like a weirdo, man. People are socially awkward. You might go somewhere, okay, you know, let me try to see what's up with these women. You know what I mean? Because we men, let's be honest, you know, want to see what's up with some women. The women are potheads. They got blunts. They smoking, black ass lips. They're, you know what I mean? It's just a lot of low level activity going on in America, man. So the foundations of this place is finished, okay? Because the first foundation of a country is the people. So if the people have failed in their understanding, everything else is going to fail. The economy is going to fail. Famine is going to come, okay? It says, for it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her as she hath done, do unto her. Right. And what has America done to the Israelites? America has kept the Israelites asleep, promoted degeneracy within the Israelite communities, right? What about that bullshit where Esau was, he created crack cocaine in a goddamn college campus laboratory and then funneled it through Israelite communities to destroy our people. Little shit like that, man. Little shit like the fucking the Rockefellers taking over the medical industry and removing herbalistic medicine so people could heal themselves, right? But removing that and then introducing prescription medication so that way people could, come to the doctor, pay thousands of dollars, never get healed, never get treated, right? And then end up dying anyways. Little shit like that is why the Lord is getting ready to take vengeance upon America. The pedo rings, right? America has a lot to pay for, man. Okay? America has a lot to pay for now. All right? And you see all of America's allies is starting to rise up against this place for evil, man. Verse 16, it says, cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handled the sickle in the time of harvest, right? Famine, okay? Because the sower, the sickle, all of that, the harvest, all of that is, that coincides with the food distribution of America, the farmers, okay? These things are being broken down, man, okay, systematically, all right? This is the Lord doing this, okay? The Lord is going to break this place down systematically, man, and bring people to their knees, man. And it's going to come to a point to where the Lord is going to draw a line in the sand, and he's going to like Revelation 3:10 says, okay, the Lord is going to draw that line in the sand, and he going to find out whether you truly believe in Satan or you believe in the Most High. The Lord is going to test everybody, okay? So that's ultimately what this is coming down to. It's coming down to that ultimate decision. All right? Because the world is getting ready to, America is getting ready to become so chaotic and so out of control and so satanic, right? That it's going to be obvious that Satan has taken control of this place. Okay? And you're going to have to make a decision. This is why, the Lord got the spirit on the prophets to tell our people to repent. It's time to repent. All right. Don't wait until the last moment, because if you try to do that, man, eventually, man, a decision is going to be made for you, and you're going to get left out here, and you're going to burn with nuclear missiles, man. All right. It says, for the fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land. Okay. Let me get this last scripture right here. This is 2nd Esdras 6:22, and we're going to get it in different translations. So this is 2nd Esdras 6:22. We'll get it in the CEB translation. It says, fields that were not sown will suddenly appear sown, and full warehouses will suddenly be found empty. Okay. So with everything going on, okay, the gas price is rising, right? Everything rising. Okay. This is going to put a disruption in the logistics of supply and demand of this place, man. The resources is going to stop coming in. Okay. That's why it says the warehouses will suddenly be found empty. First, let me get this in the KJV, man. Okay. Let me get this in the KJV. All right. Let me read it first, and then we'll go back to them translations. Right. Okay. Read that first, man. All right. 2nd Esdras 6:22 KJV. All right. 2nd Esdras 6:22. All right, KJV. It says, where is it at? It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Okay. So pretty soon, Okay, and all of this is getting ready to lead to, you know, the grocery stores cleared out, right? Or no more shipments that's coming to the grocery stores. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's going to come to a point, man, to where you're going to go inside of the grocery store, right? And you're going to be trying to, you know, get some food for the month or whatever. And you're going to go up in there and ain't going to be nothing up in there, man. You know what I'm saying? Watch how people going to start tripping out, man. You know? Nothing in there. You know? The shelves are empty. Okay? Then you're going to try to come back the next day. Okay, maybe that was just, maybe something just happened. You know what I mean? I'll come back tomorrow. You know, I'm pretty sure everything will get back to normal. You know, this is what the average American's going to think. Everything going to get back to normal, man. And, you know, it just happens sometimes. And they're going to come back tomorrow, same shit. Come back the next week, same shit. You see? That's what it's coming down to, okay? That's what all of this is getting ready to lead to. You Americans will suffer from all of this conflict that's going on. This is the NRSVA translation. 2nd Esdras 6:22. It says, sown places shall suddenly appear unsown, and full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Okay, so you get the point. Okay, this is going to lead to a lack of resources, a lack of everything, hyperinflation. Okay, you know, we're coming into the time of complete despair and complete chaos in America, man. All right, so I just wanted to make this lesson through the spirit. Hopefully it was edifying. All right, no one wants to help America, so Americans will suffer. Okay, and you're gonna start seeing a lot more videos of our people on the internet. You know what I mean? You know, all of these laughs and these jokes. Okay, this shit is getting ready to turn deadly serious. You know, people are going to start getting deadly serious about shit, man. You know, you already got videos of women screaming in their car. You know, the bitch can't pay her T-Mobile phone bill. You know, she's screaming in the car. You know what I'm saying? Bugging the fuck out. Now imagine when real shit start getting cut off, man. Can't afford that gas. Can't afford that food. No food. You know what I'm saying? No more government assistance. You know? Yeah, people are getting ready to trip the fuck out, man. All right? And people are going to want answers, right? First, they're going to try to ask the government what's going on, right? And then they're going to full circle back to the men of the Lord, and they're going to try to ask us what's going on, right? It's going to get that bad, but hey, a lot of you people are getting ready to be rejected, man. A lot of you people are, you know, the spirit is going to have us withhold knowledge from you niggas, man. Like the scriptures say, I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, meaning that, you know, we ain't gonna have nothing to say to you people. Everything that needed to be said was already said when we was uploading these videos and going out to the highways and hedges and holding camp in front of everybody. Okay, we've been breaking this stuff down for years, man, before any of this happened. So when Esau cuts the internet, when shit is in complete pandemonium and there's no more resources, we ain't gonna have nothing to say to nobody. If you didn't get it, that's your fault, man. Okay? You know, don't try to come circling back to the Lord. It's time for you to die, nigga. You the one that ignored the Lord. We didn't. That's going to be your fault. That's going to be your bad. And we've been telling you that, man. Okay? So with that, I'll go ahead and wrap it up and give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. To the next video, Shalom. Shalom.